of collected classes on there from the last 3 weeks. All right, so take a cozy seat, however that looks like in your own body. If you are noticing that your low back is rounding down, sit up on a blanket or cushion to create a bit of uplift for your spine. And know that you can always be sitting on a chair or extend the legs out in front with a little bend or fully extended, ensuring that the spine is supported. Take in a full deep breath through your nose. And with your exhale, as if you were blowing air out of a straw, let the breath go with a... Again, deep, full breath in. Let it out like a straw. Sometimes you can think of this as a little whistle as well. One more time, your own rhythm, breath in. Exhale your breath out slowly, blowing out air. And take a little bit of time here, as long as it takes for you to settle into this space, this time that you've carved out from your day to be here. Acknowledging whatever else is around you, if there's noise, activity, the awareness of inner workings, outer workings of the world. And welcome what you are noticing in your physical body, your breath, and also what's present for you in your mind, your emotions. Softening any unnecessary physical or mental tension, even just by noticing if it's present. And from there, gently begin to deepen your inhalation. If it's available, breathe through your nose, otherwise through the mouth. Let it be a slow breath, diaphragmatic, expansive, 360 degrees, three-dimensional. With the exhale, let time be there as you slowly release air from your body. Continue the breath, take on just a little bit of light with your eyes. With your inhale, circle sweeps the arms up to the sky in a little bit of sun breath. Exhale, lower the hands down through center to your heart. Inhale, expand arms out to the right and left. Exhale, palms touch back at center. Coordinate this movement with your breath. Inhale, palms lift to the sky. Exhale, open wide, stretch out through your shoulders, release your hands. Inhale again, arms lift high. Use your breath and rhythm. Exhale, palms lower to heart. Inhale to open, right to left, elbows stay bent. Exhale, palms retouch at center. In breath, palms rise back to the sky. Gaze can draw up for a little neck stretch. Exhale to lower hands, chin to sternum. Final cycle here. Inhale, palms rise to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale to open right to left. And with the exhale, pause when the hands retouch in front of your heart. Look down, re-soften your eyes. Take a little moment here for intention setting. Create direction, focus, purpose for your time in your practice. It could be anything that you're wanting to call in for today, for the next couple hours, for the next couple of days. What is it that you need? You can think of it as medicine, as a friend to support you. It could be a quality like ease or healing, connection, openness, love, peace, strength, determination, perspective. What's one or two things that you could use more of in your life right now? To acknowledge this and each other's company here in the virtual space, gently bow head to heart. Slowly release your hands down by the side of your body. If you're on a seated prop, move it to the side. Take a moment to extend your legs long out in front, hands support back behind, press out through your toes, make a few little windshield wiper movements to release any tension from the underside of your knees. Gradually pause the movement here. Rebend your knees. Take your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Inhale to breathe. Lengthen through your spine. With exhale, windmill both of your knees over towards the left side. Inhale back through center, both knees to the right. Little gentle windshield wiper motion from side to side. Continue to move at your own rhythm here. Know that you can always move the feet a little closer or further apart. Closer will be less intense of a stretch. Further apart will create a little bit more stretch. Your own rhythm here, final cycle. Find yourself over to the right side, both knees there. Back foot can move a little closer towards your body. Frame your right knee with both hands. Inhale to lift and lengthen. With exhalation, chin to sternum around your back body. Dive down. Inhale to draw forward as if you're rolling a marble with your nose. Rise back up. There's a little undulating motion for your spine. Lower down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Continue to play here with rounding and then extending through your whole back body and front body. Next time you lift up to center space, pause here. Inhale, draw both arms high to the sky. With exhalation, take your left hand to your right knee, right arm up to the sky. Full breath here. Exhale, gentle arc over to the left side. Inhale through center. Exhale again, arc left. Just stretching through the right side of your body. A few more rounds here. Movement and breath. Final cycle. Inhale to lift. Back up through center, both arms to the sky. With exhale, lower your hands down. Plant into your right fingertips. Know that if your wrists are tender, you can come into a fist or even lower onto your forearm here for support. So wherever you're at, with the inhalation, lift your hips and pelvis to the sky. Left arm extends. Exhale to lower back down. Inhale again, lift up, mindful of the right shoulder. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower. Final cycle here. Inhale to lift up. If it's available, pause and sustain for 3, 2, 1. Exhale to lower back down. Both hands back behind. Inhale to extend through center. Take a moment, lengthen through your legs. Again, just to release any tension from your knees. Make a few motions. Gradually pause, separate your feet, inhale breath. With the exhalation, move your knees over to the left side. Back foot can come a little closer. Find some comfort here as best you can. Frame your left knee with both hands. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, chin to sternum, round down. Undulate. Inhale to rise back up. Explore this at your own rhythm and speed. One more time to extend, round. With a breath in, elongate back up through center, exhale to ground. Use your inhalation, both arms lift to the sky. With exhale, right hand lowers to your left knee. Inhale, lift out of your waistline. Exhale, gentle arc over to the right side. Inhale to come to center, exhale to arc. Continue to move and explore here. Breathe into the sideline of your body. Final cycle here to arc. With the inhale, come back through center. Exhale, lower your hand down. Plant your left fingertips active towards the ground. Remember, you can always come onto forearm for more support. With the feet engaged, inhale to rise up. Left shoulder hugs back. Right arm to the sky. Exhale to come back down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to rise up. Exhale to lower. You can always stay in this motion, or if it's available for a bit more sensation, next time you rise up, pause here for 3, 2, 1. Exhale to release back down. Both hands back behind. Inhale your knees through center. Extend your legs out in front. Final time here to stretch out, make any little motions to support. And gradually rebend your knees, feet hip distance apart, hands come back behind you, fingertips either face the sitting bones or they can be really at any angle. It all depends on your wrist. Activate through your finger pads. Again, if the wrists are tender, you can explore fists here. Inhale to rise up, reverse table position. Pause and sustain. Chin stays at neutral, center of the body level, open through your front body. Connected breaths. One more inhale. Exhale to lower back down to the ground. Gradually lift your feet, maneuver your legs all the way back behind you. Tabletop position, knees under hips, hands a little wider here, shoulder width or a little bit more out. Use any support that you need for your knees here. Staying active through the finger pads. Inhale to extend your right leg back behind you for a little balance. Exhale, coil in, knee towards body. In breath to lengthen. Exhale to extend. In breath to elongate. Exhale to extend. In breath, lengthen one more time. Exhale, curl in. With your inhalation, elongate your leg back behind. Gradually exhale, step your right foot out to the side edge of your space. Take as much time as you need to lift up to center with the leg extended out to the side. Inhale to elongate, arms to the sky. With your exhalation, twist open to the right side of your space, arms to T position. If the back arm doesn't feel lovely, take the right hand to your hip. Continue to explore. Little rotation here. Inhale, back off, coming more towards center. Exhale, twist a little bit more with your torso. In breath, exhale. One more time here. Little rotation through your torso. Inhale to come back through center space, both arms to the sky. With exhale, lower your hands back down. Take your time, gradually in breath to float your right leg back behind once more. Stay here or play with a little bit of balance. Left fingertips, tap dance off of the ground or explore the arm out in front. And always come onto your right forearm as well for a little bit more wrist support. Playing with the options here, your own rhythm. One more inhale. Exhale to lower, knee back down, hand back down. With your inhalation, expand your left leg back behind. Start to coil in with the exhale round. Continue to move here, your rhythm and breath. Next time your leg is back behind, pause, take an active breath in. With the exhalation, extend your left leg long, all the way out to the side of your space. Start to walk your hands towards your hips. Take time, make any adjustments here for comfort. Inhale to elongate arms to the sky. With exhale, spin and twist your torso to the left side. Backhand can always bend, come back behind, and add a little motion with the inhale, back off. With the exhale, gentle rotation. Inhale and exhale. Your extended left foot can also come onto the heel, toes to the sky if that's more comfortable. Then facing forward, honoring whatever sensation you're feeling in your leg. Final time here to play with the rotation towards the left side. Use in-breath to return back through center, both arms rise high. Exhale to lower. Hands replant down to the earth, ground. Use your inhaling breath, gradual float, left leg back behind, fire up. Stay right there or tap dance the right hand for a little bit more balance, or extend your right arm out in front. Stay connected to your full breath. One more inhale. Exhale to release, hand, knee down to the ground. With in-breath, extend your right leg back behind you. On an exhale, take your time. As long as you need, step your foot through in between your hands. You can also use hand to calf support here to help that out. If you have blocks nearby, one or two, use it for the hands. Otherwise, keep the hands on the floor. Inhale to lift, back knee high. With exhale, take your time, 1, 2, 3, or as many steps as you need. Front edge of your mat, right into a forward fold. Inhale to elongate, partway up, little L shape with your body, spine long. Bend your knees as much as you need for low back and hamstrings. Exhale to round. In breath again, lift and lengthen halfway up. Exhale to fold. One more time, inhale for elongation, halfway up. With your exhalation, round. This time with the inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Use your out breath to bend your knees. Shift the weight back. Inhale to rise all the way up to standing. If you feel dizzy, look down. Exhale, hands lower through heart space, then by the side of your body. Take a few little shoulder roll motions here. From there, gradually pause with your feet hip distance or a little wider. Inhale your right arm out in front. Left hand comes to a fist. Start to tap the outside, then the inside of your arms, making contact here with the body, stimulating circulation and also the lymph system a little bit for added cleansing. Switch sides. Left arm extend, tap. Opposite arm. From here, take your fist to your hips, become a little wider, tap the hips. Super mindful, bend your knees as much as you need, fold forward, tap the outside of your legs, then rise back up, tapping the inside of your legs. When you get to your knees, move to the quads. 2 more times this way. Once you've come upright on the third cycle, take your fist back behind to the glutes, offering a little bit of release from any tension that's built up, especially if you've been sitting. And from there, take your fist to your low back. Come forward to your belly. Then to the collarbones, optional little sound here, deep breath. From there, knuckles rise up to the top of your shoulders. Some people find that crossing their arms here can actually be easier, so check in if that works for you. And from there, tip your chin to the sky, start to tap the front of your throat. Chin returns to neutral, tap the jaw at both sides. And then start to explore here the whole surface area of your face, above the mouth, below the mouth, cheekbones, temples, nose. Soften your gaze if that feels comfortable here. And move to the side of your head, back of your head. Walk down to the neck. Coming back up the back of the head to the top of your head. Explore the whole circumference here of the top of your head. Continue to tap for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath in, pause. With exhale, release your arms by the side of your body. And take a moment here. Notice any tingles, sensations, circulation, heat. And come back to your intention for your practice. What is it that you're calling in today that you can use more of? And gradually reawaken through your eyes. Adjust your feet hip distance apart. Hands come to your hips. Find a gaze point to support balance. Root into your right foot. With the inhale, left knee starts to lift. This can be a tap dance motion, or lift your leg and pause to play with the balance. If you need more balance challenge, take your eyes to center or to your ceiling space. Arms can stay right there or come out to the side. Elbows bend, fingers and wrists heavy. Standing crane pose. Checking if you've locked out through your right leg. Create a little bit of a micro bend. One more inhale. With the exhale, lower both feet down to the ground, arms release. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Either interlace your hands above you, index finger to sky, thumb back, or take hands to opposite elbows or forearms for a little bit more freedom in the shoulders. In breath to elongate. With your exhale, arc over to the left side. Pause here. Standing half moon pose. Lengthen through the side of your ribs. Focus on elongation versus crunch here. Deep breaths. Inhale to rise back up through middle. Release your arms down by the side of your body. Take your hands to your low back. Elbows mirror each other as best you can here in your body. Root into your feet. You can even give yourself a little self-assist. Root your hips down. Start to lift up and out of your center body. Create length through your spine. Shoulders hug back. Keeping this, now begin to lean back gently. Mid and upper back are leading the way. If your neck feels pretty spacious, start to take the chin a little bit skyward, ensuring there's not too much weight onto the small spinal discs of your neck. Soften through your mouth here. Stay with the breath. Gentle baby back bend. With inhale, slowly rise back up, spine to neutral, release your arms. Find your gaze point again for balance. Replace the hands onto your hips. Root into your left foot. With inhale, start to play. Right toes either tap dance to build your balance, or if it's working today, extend your leg out. Know that you can also use wall support here. So if balance is more of a challenge, come by a wall and place your hand to help you out here. Feel free to layer on any other posture options. Play with the gaze, center, sky, eyes halfway closed. If you fall out of the balance, no big deal. Bring yourself back. Deep breathing. Stay mindful of your standing left leg. Connected breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale to lower foot and hand to the ground. Root down into your feet. Inhale, lengthen. Arms rise to the sky. Either steeple position or take arms into a box as you arc over to the right side. Inhale to lift through center space. Exhale, gently release your arms by the side of your body. Make a few little shoulder rolls. Let go of any pressure that's built up through your shoulders. From here, take a wider stance, wider than hip distance. Toes turn out at around 45 degrees, but check in. The angle could really vary quite a bit depending on what's happening in your ankles. So just find stability and comfort. Inhale to extend, arms rise. With exhale, bend into your knees, sink down into a little squat, wide squat. Inhale to lift, arms back to the sky. Exhale to sink. A few more times moving with your breath. Final cycle here with the out breath. Sink to your degree into your legs. Doesn't have to be a huge sink. Hands land onto your thighs. In breath to elongate from the waistline to the top of your head. Exhale, spin and twist to the right. Left shoulder leads the way. Gentle rotation, your own range of motion. Inhale through center. Exhale, opposite side. Two more times slowly to explore each side twice more. Keep your attention present to your spinal column in these movements. Slowly with the inhale, your own rhythm. Once you've balanced out, come to center, pause, sink a little bit more. Inhale to rise back up, arm sweep to the sky. Exhale, hands fold through center, release your arms. Adjust your feet. Comfortable stance at the front edge of your space. Root down. In breath to lengthen. Arms lift to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forward, right into forward bend. Pause here in forward bend. Either take your forearms to your thighs for ragdoll or play with the torso a little bit more held with gravity's traction, hands towards the ground. Final layer here, hands can come to the elbows or forearms for a little bit more gravity traction. So check in where you're best served today. Where's the best version of this shape to support you? Feel free to make a little sway, forward, back, right to left, super soft, if that's soothing. Gently, if your hands are clasped, release them back down. Inhale to elongate, halfway rise, little L shape. Exhale, fold back down to the earth. Take as much time as you need here. Hands touch down, one foot back, one knee down, then the other foot back, other knee down, coming into tabletop. Step your knees just a tad behind of your hips, uncurl your toes, inhale full breath. With the exhale, use the strength of your upper body. Take your time to slowly lower all the way down onto the earth. Stretch your legs back, legs stay hip distance apart. The hands come a tad back, thumbs in line with breastbone, elbow to the sky. Shoulders embrace back, squeeze through your glutes, leg heavy. Inhale to lift, lengthen and lift. Cobra pose, exhale to lower. Use your breath. Inhale for length first, then add a little bit of lift. Squeeze your glutes, exhale to lower. You can continue this up and down exploration of the pose if you are feeling like you want a little bit more fire. Next time you rise up, pause and sustain your posture. You get to choose. Staying in it for 3, 2, inhale. Exhale, lower down, relax your whole body here. Palms can come forward, chin to the palms for a little bit of rest. You can also turn your head to one side or the other, seeing what's most comfortable. From there, if your head is to one side, return it back to center. 2 options here. Either the hands replant for cobra once more, or you can take the arms wide by the side of your space, about 35-degree angle out like little wings. Create a little scoop through your tail. Again, squeeze the glutes for activation, protection of the center body. With inhale, lift your legs and your torso. Focus on length. Press out through your toes to the top of your head. This could be a little movement with breath. Exhale to lower, inhale to lift. Build the strength. Or you can always sustain your posture. Noticing what is the right choice for you based on what you're feeling in this moment. Wherever you're at, either motion or sustaining for 3, 2, 1. Slowly land back down to the ground, either chin at center or head to opposite side from before. Take a moment to pause, to receive. Gently return your head back to center space. Resupport yourself with your hands. Find a comfortable way, somehow, creatively, to flip your whole body here. Coming onto the back. If you need any props that are near you, grab them along the way as well. Once you've resettled on your back, lengthen through your legs. On the inhale, expand your arms above the top of your head. Take a full body stretch. Press your toes forward, fingertips press back, as if you were being gently tugged in both directions. Create length through your spine, through your ribs, your mouth, your jaw. One more inhale. Exhale to release your arms back by the side of your space. Bend your knees, feet come to the earth, and move your feet as wide as your mat distance or wider than hip distance apart if you're off a mat. Take your arms to T position. Inhale, full breath. And with the exhale, very slowly maneuver both of your knees to the right side, little windshield wiper movement. Inhale through center. Exhale, windmill, windshield wiper, opposite side. Continue this motion gently here. You might notice some sensation or movement in your low back, your hamstrings. Or rather, your sacrum, not your hamstrings. And stay right here with your lower body, or if it's comfortable for your head and neck, start to move your head and neck in the opposite direction of where your knees are going. One final option here, sometimes this can be a little bit tricky for the brain, but let it be an exploration. As you move your knees and your head, start to explore moving your wrists and forearms a little, if you were squeezing out a towel from water, moving a little bit of rotation through your wrists, your forearms, same direction, opposite direction. Sometimes be a lot of coordination. So seeing what feels most interesting here. Continuing for several more rounds. If you find yourself distracted or if there's labels that come up of boredom, see if you can come back to the curiosity of how things are moving in your body. I'd also feel a little bit of massage here on the glutes, releasing tension, a few more cycles. With an inhale, return your knees to neutral, chin to neutral. If you're moving your head, pause the arms, and take a moment here. And from there, lift your feet off of your mat, happy baby pose. Bring your knees open to the right and left, feet to the sky. Hands can start out behind the knees or calves, ankles, only the soles of the feet if you're low back. Sacrum can stay pretty grounded, low back even still a little spacious on the mat. This could be plenty of stretch here for your inner groin, so just keep where you're at. If you're wanting a little bit more, start to tug with arm strength, the legs move a little down. At the same time, resist equally, feet press skyward. That might generate a bit more sensation. Stay right here, or if it's soothing for your spinal column, you can also explore a little gentle rock from right to left, seeing if that feels supportive. Three more rounds of conscious deep breathing here. With your out breath, gently release. Feet return back down to the ground. Take a moment. And from there, keep your feet hip distance apart, heels about 5 to 6 inches away from your sitting bones. Arms come by the side of your body. And from there, keep the elbows on the ground, bend at your elbows so your forearms and fingertips face skyward. So it's little, sometimes this is called robot arms. Plug into your elbows, a little bit of a press to your shoulders. Start to squeeze through your glutes, keeping this, inhale to lift. Hips and pelvis rise into bridge pose. Keep it moving, exhale to lower, back down. Keep the glutes active even as you descend and pause. Inhale again, lift back up, center of the body active. Inner leg strong as if you were hugging a cushion or block. Exhale to lower. Few rounds here to move with movement and breath. Know that you can always pause at any point from more heat building or even slide a block or something that resembles a block underneath of your sacrum. And continuing for 5 more cycles of breath, wherever you're at in your own exploration of the posture, either movement or sustaining or supported. Notice what you're feeling in the pose, what is activating, what's releasing. And final cycle of full inhale. With the exhale, lower down and relax, pause, release your arms down, receive the effects of the posture. With a gradual inhale, take your hands behind your hamstrings, feet come off the earth, lift the legs skyward, point the toes to the sky. So relieve a little bit of pressure if there's any from the underside of your knees, elongation, deep breath. Exhale to return your feet back down to the earth. Take your arms T position, shoulder height, or bend the arms to a little cactus position if you're tighter on space. Use both of your feet on the ground. Lift your hips and pelvis just a tad off of the earth. Slide them over to the right side, then re-land the hips. Keeping this, now twist your knees to the left side. So we do a little scooch to the right and twist to the left. This is intense on the low back. Whether you can back off that little scooch or scoop your tail here to create a little bit more evenness. This is not comfortable with the knees. Place a blanket cushion block in between your legs or to the underside knee, the left knee on this side. Right shoulder is your base and foundation. Let that remain on the earth. So less concern about what the knees are doing. And from there, bring your attention to the side of your body. Breathe into your ribs. Staying here with your twist, several more deep rounds of breath. And check in with your mind's eye. Where is your attention, your focus? If you're drifting somewhere else, it's totally fine, and also an opportunity to become aware of that and to return back to the reality of this moment, your breath, your sensations. Use a soft in breath to return. Knees back up to center with both feet on the ground. Lift your hips and pelvis and maneuver everything way over to the right side. So doing that little slide and scooch, keeping this, move the knees into your twist over to the right side. And check in with this side. Might be a completely different experience. So what does this side need? Is there a prop that you can utilize? Left shoulder is your foundation, anchored. From there, let there be softness with every out breath. Really supporting your nervous system here to be at ease, to recoup. Three more rounds of slow, conscious breath here. And use a soft inhale to lift your knees back up through center. Adjust your hips and pelvis to a neutral space. Gently take your knees in towards middle space, either hands on top of your knees or behind your hamstrings. Make any little circular motions on your low back, sacrum. And from here, listen to the wisdom of your own body, your own breath, your own practice. And for the next 2 minutes or so, move in any final shapes, forms that support you to feel nourished in your practice. If you're finding that what you are needing most is some added time to just lay back and rest, allow that to be the gift that you offer yourself here. If you are moving towards the final pose, make any adjustments that you need to ensure your body is comfortable and supported. If having the legs long doesn't work for you and your low back, bend your knees and let one knee rest to the side of the other. Cover your eyes if you have an additional prop there to add some darkness. Brain can often relax a little bit more. If you're still in your own exploration and movement, take your own time over the next 10 or so rounds of your breath to make your journey towards the final resting pose. And as you allow yourself to be held by the support of the ground, allow your whole body to be at ease. Soften any tension from the layer of your skin. Invite your muscles to unwind, unwrap from any tension. And release holding through your bones. Allow them to be held by the ground. Neck relaxed, mouth and jaw spacious. Release any holding through your cheekbones and ears, even the sides of the nose, eyelids soft, the forehead letting go. And simply be here and rest. I'll guide you out in a little bit. And very slowly become more aware of your body and the space that you're in. If you have some added time to rest, go ahead and remain where you're at. Otherwise, allow for little waking motions, brushing of the fingers, toes, movement with ankles, wrists, any other stretches that feel nourishing here. And with an inhalation, knees rise up to center space. Roll over to either side in a fetal position. And from this shape of nurturance being held, take your time as you find a comfortable way to rise back up. Take a seat, feel free to use a prop to support your spine. Keep the eyes either partway closed, a little bit of light streaming in, or fully closed. Once you've adjusted, palms connect in front of heart center. Take in the effects of your practice today. What are you aware of now that might be a little different than before? And to acknowledge yourself for showing up to this time, reconnecting with whatever it is that you called in for the next few hours or days, that quality or two, into each other's company. Gently bow your head to your heart space, celebrating your wisdom, your strength. Namaste.